Now let's see what happens next. This we discussed. It's a, I won't say it's a picture of million words. It's a picture of just a few words. There's no, and what happens next? So this is some ethical questions or just normal questions to ponder upon. Not so much related to UPSC. Who was the player and who was the pawn? Hamas being such a small organization, but still, they didn't give 48 of them. They played Trump and Israel in their own game, according to me, according to many news outlets and intellectuals. Who was playing and who got played? Who acted smart? See, in all of this, Hamas got time. There is always ceasefire, and small organizations need time to regenerate, to recover. Big organizations don't need time. They've got ample. For example, in Russia-Ukraine war, Russia does not need much time. The day it wants, it can just sweep away. But Ukraine needs time. So Hamas betrayed the promise made by peace president. I am calling him the peace president because the whole world is calling him he's the peace president. But unfortunately, he didn't win the peace prize. Now we don't know how, but that's a topic for another day. Okay. The first part of the peace plan was 48 hostages. Now the question is, now what they said was, if you give up the hostages, there will be a ceasefire. But they didn't give up all the hostages. So the question, will Hamas honor the second part, the 4 points that we discussed? It didn't honor the first part. Who gives the guarantee that they will honor the second part? No one, right? So we'll give up arms and leave Gaza. There's no chance. According to my theory, there's no chance they'll do that. Now, the joke is what? Everything was going on. Just after that, on 19th October, ceasefire violation happened. Ceasefire violations happen every day, but this was a major one. Israel said, because Hamas did not honor this part, therefore we are striking it again. See, Israel needs at this point, it does not even need an excuse. There was a time when it had to show the whole world what it's doing, why it's doing. But now Israel and US have come to a stage, they're just reluctant in showing that we will do this and we are doing this. In the next slide, you'll see it better. So this is what Hamas was going on. Okay? Now see, here comes the latest news part, the forgotten West Bank. Okay? Now if anyone has heard of Palestine, I've heard, yes, Palestine. Palestine is made up of two parts, right? In the map, see, this is this West Bank area and this Gaza Strip. These two included is known as Palestine. Single is not Palestine. Okay? Now what the irony is, in this part, Hamas is in control, and in this part, PA, Palestinian Authority, known as Fatah, F-A-T-A-H. I might have written over here. Fatah, Palestinian Authority, Fatah. And these two are at loggerheads with each other. Why? Because in 2006, elections happened in Palestine and Hamas won. Contrary to everyone's views, Hamas won in the same way that before 1971, Bangladesh won elections. But Pakistan refused to give them power. In the same manner, when Hamas won, there was a dispute between two. And they both can't stay together. But for the world to see, they are together. It's something is just going on theoretical for the whole to just have world to have some sort of comic sense in it. But in practicality, both are not together. Okay? To understand that, is it visible? Okay. Till here you understood that Hamas and Fatah are different. Both constitute Palestinian together. But the issue is they don't like each other. In the most simplest of terms. What happened was, Israel on one part is capturing Gaza. On one part it is doing that. A few days earlier, in the second part it said, bill passed in the Knesset is Israel's parliament. What they passed the bill was that we are going to annex West Bank also now. The whole world is trying to stop Israel to obliterating or just destroying Gaza. In the meanwhile, what Israel did was, okay, that is going on. Now I'll take West Bank also. Just look at the reluctance or the power authority is trying to show. It's flexing its muscles. It knows that President Trump is behind him unconditionally. That's why it is doing it. Now see, why is Israel able to do so? It's a very small thing and it is symbolic. It's not theoretical. It's not conceptual. No, it is conceptual. It is. What is the importance of Israel? Importance of Israel is, if you see within the last 2 weeks, there have been 3 visits to Israel from USA. First, President Trump himself for the Gaza peace plan, he went there. Second, J.D. Vance went there. And third, the Secretary of State, Rubio, his name is something Rubio. 3 people, 3 of the most, in the power structure ladder, the top 3 people have went to Israel in the last 10 days. That is the importance of Israel in the eyes of USA. So according to theories, it cannot be that Israel is doing something without the approval or without in synchrony with USA, or in some cases USA is the main brain, it's just behind Israel. Okay? These are all theories, but if you see the nature of events that is going on, they are fighting for Gaza, the whole world is crying for Gaza and Palestine, and in the meanwhile they say we'll annex West Bank. Now the irony, this photo, it's in Hindi, I'll translate it. It is words have meaning as and intentions different. This is what it's trying to say. In Hindi itself, हाथी के देत खाने को कुछ और, these are the tusks of the elephant, but it doesn't use it to eat. Okay? So the intentions what they are trying to show publicly is totally different, and the intentions behind back doors is totally different. For example, see, for this bill to pass, the bill has been passed. It's not in the stages. Bill has been passed. Now the best part is just the bill passed, the whole world started crying, pointing fingers. How can you do this? How can you do this? So what Netanyahu said was, we didn't pass the bill. The person in power didn't pass the bill. There are 120 seats in Knesset, that is Israeli parliament, but the bill was passed by 25 voting for and 24 voting against, that is equal to 49 in total. Okay, rough calculation. And there are still 71 people who are left out. All this milake, it is 120. 71 people didn't vote. Imagine the irony, or imagine the planning. You can see it both ways. Now what he's saying that the man, the president, the prime minister, we didn't do anything. Opposition came, they brought up the bill and they made it an act also. Imagine. Now the whole world is believing, and he's pointing fingers at him, he's pointing fingers at him, and all this is happening when J.D. Vance is in the Israel himself, and he's showing in public that I'm shocked. Comic is going on. 25 people voted for and 24 people voted against, and 71 people didn't vote, abstained. See, it's a joke, right? The prime minister, the one holding power, is saying this. We'll see. See, this, I missed that slide, yeah. Over here it's there. If you can see from this side, 120 people, right? This one person, Noam, one person. See, these upper three constitute the ruling coalition. Okay? This is the ruling coalition, this is opposition, and this is one single person. He brought out the bill. Not the ruling party, one single party person. He brought out the bill and it got passed. So it's all show going on. Okay? And rest is simple. Israeli parliament advances bill to annex. Okay? Now next is this. Now what is the present situation? All this is going on for the rest of the world to see. Okay? That's simple. If you see Gaza is somewhere over here. See, this is Gaza. And if you see West Bank, we've discussed the story of Gaza enough. Now see, we're seeing West Bank. See, the difference between Gaza and West Bank is, West Bank is this, and according to Oslo Accords and UN pages itself, it is divided into 3 parts, A, B and C. In simple, it means Israel already holds 70% of West Bank. That is the ground reality, and what UN says. Okay, ground reality. See, it is in 3 parts, A, B and C. A part is Palestine. The Palestine have control over it. B part is both ways it's going on. Palestine has also control and Israel also has control. And C part, Israel has 50%. Now see, why is it there? West Bank is a landlocked. If you imagine it is a country, West Bank is a landlocked country. This side is Israel itself. You can't do anything. This side is Jordan River. The west of Jordan River, that is why it's named as West Bank, because it's on the west of Jordan River. Okay? And here it is Jordan. So even for employment, people of Palestine have to go to Israel. It's there. Hota na? Ki whatever the world is showing you, the ground reality is totally different. And it has been documented by various people. So Israel already has 70% of something. What was the need for it to openly come up and annex, show that I'm annexing? What was the need? Like everything was going on smooth. People on the ground know what's there. Every country knows, every interested country knows. But still they are doing it. So we'll see why. See, this is Oslo Accords. It was in the Oslo Accords that Palestine got recognition. Okay? It happened in 1993 and 1995. There are 2 parts. In the next slide I might have added. Yes, I have added that. Okay? Here. Oslo Accords, समझ में आया? What's Oslo Accords? It's a place in Norway, but Oslo Accords didn't happen in Norway. the negotiations happened in Norway, but the day of the signing, that was happened in Washington DC. That's a myth question, but Oslo Accords, Oslo is in Norway, where the negotiations happened, but the day of the signing, it happened in Washington DC. Now, as I said, Israel has 70% of West Bank, है ना? Now, how Israel captured West Bank? ठीक है? For that, any aspirant should be knowing, or if not, there was a 7 days war. 6 days was, you've heard? There was a 6 days war in 1961 in which Israel won from its opponents. Now, in this war, it captured up to West Bank. Simple. Now, if you take the example, I've written, see, Oslo Accords was signed in Washington DC in 1993, and the second one also. Simple, nothing to remember, but Oslo is in Norway and it happened in Washington DC. Now see, Israel went up to West Bank, okay, but according to the Accords, it was told to go back to primary. Now I'll give a contemporary example. In India-Pakistan war of 1965, for example, we went up to Lahore, right? See, here's the image also. Lahore, this is a police station near Lahore, so we went up to there, and this is a photo of Oslo Accords, for just reference. So what we did, we were gentlemen people, we came back, we learned, we'll honor the agreements, and we came back. In 1971 war also, it's not showing, in 1971 war also, we were having upper hand, we were ruling, we had 70,000 of prisoners of war of Pakistan, but what did we decide? We decided to give them up, honorably. But see what Israel did, it didn't honor the Accords. They said to go back, but they didn't. From that day onwards, Israel has captured West Bank. That is the ground reality. Now, this is the last slide. So why now? Israel owns it, everyone knows it, all the deep powers know it. But why now? When it has 70% of West Bank, why is it trying to show the world that I'm going to annex it? It is in simple terms called, it is flexing its muscles. First time it went one step ahead, then 2 steps ahead. Now it's leaping forward. It's no USA is behind its back. No. The moment it attacked Qatar, that was a watershed moment. Now the whole world is just on backstage watching what Israel is doing. First what happened? Israel did something and there was a counterpoise to it. Someone else did something, but after Qatar, no one is reacting. Everyone is just requesting, Trump, please stop Israel. So this is the power game which is going on. So there was no need of it, literally no need of it at this point, because Israel is so much involved in Gaza, the whole world is so much involved in Gaza. But still Israel came up and showed this, no, that I will do this also. Now see, for UPSC point of view, what is the stand of India? You should know this also, the whole story is going on, but what is India saying? So according to India, in simple terms, India does not recognize Hamas as a international militant organization or any sort of, we stand in respect with what happened on 7th October, we stand in respect of what is going on in Hamas, and we stand with all humanitarian crisis. But we don't call it an international militant organization as of today. But the recent is Army Chief Upinder Dwivedi labels Hamas a terrorist group for the first time. The government has not as of now, but Army Chief has. So this you need to remember. Just see, there won't be a direct question coming about it, but this can come. So if you understood, and see, everything is going on backdoors like this. No matter how much they point fingers at each other, he cannot do anything without his support, and he is the one supporting him willingly. So I assume you've somewhat understood Gaza story and what's going on in West Bank. Okay, little bit. Okay, thank you.